just like that, Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA, the team owners, the Players Association, in the split of an instance, all of it can change. In a split instance, all of it can change. If this injury does anything, it should be a wake-up call to the WNBA, the Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight.
The WNBA figured they could let Caitlin Clark get roughed up night after night, and fans would just cheer politely like it's a middle school halftime show. Well, surprise twist. After Clark got slammed like it was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, fans didn't just get upset. They started protesting like it's Black Friday and the refs just voided their discounts. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks. The league wanted more physical action, but now they are facing a full-court backlash. Who would have guessed the road to equality meant throwing elbows at your biggest box office draw? Buckle up, this story's just getting started.
It was just announced that Caitlin Clark will be out a minimum of 2 weeks with a quad injury. Could this injury have been prevented? Can the Indiana Fever win without her? And what does this mean for the WNBA?
Oh, the WNBA thought it was heading into a smooth, drama-free season. How cute. Just as everything was falling into place, ratings climbing, jerseys selling out, and every Indiana Fever game turning into a Taylor Swift-level event, bam, Caitlin Clark's team switched up the script. Now she's riding the bench, fans are reacting like the world just tilted off its axis, and behind the scenes, the league is low-key freaking out while trying to act like everything's perfectly under control. Spoiler alert, it's not.
Get in the back. We know Caitlin Clark was lost yesterday to an injury for at least 2 weeks. Now, the thing about it is they're going to reevaluate in 2 weeks. And of course, man, these teams, I told you earlier, these WNBA franchises that moved games like the Chicago Sky to the, United Arena, you're screwed. You're done. You're cooked. Nobody is going to show up to this thing. Chicago Sky can't sell out their own 9,000-something seat arena like it is. They couldn't when they were kind of decent.
2 weeks. That's how long Clark's out with a strained quad. Not a tear, not a break, just enough to throw the entire league storyline into chaos. Her thigh basically put in a time-off request, and now the Fever's star attraction is parked on the bench while the WNBA tries desperately to keep the spotlight from slipping. And the public's reaction? Oh, super chill. If by chill you mean a full-blown meltdown in broad daylight.
Oh my God, guys, breaking news. Caitlin Clark is hurt. I didn't believe it when I saw it myself. She's injured. She has a quad injury, a left quad injury. It's a quadriceps strain, and the team announced today, about 2 hours ago, she's going to be out 2 weeks at the minimum. 2 weeks. Without Caitlin Clark, this team is finished.
Clark's fans, basically the most merch-rocking, Twitter-obsessed superfans since peak Michael Jordan, are already staging emotional exits. A simple injury has turned into a full-blown uprising. I'm not watching until Clark's back. This league isn't worth it without her. Boycott the WNBA. You'd think the league insulted their grandma and ran off with their dog. Meanwhile, the rest of the players out here like, hey, we're still here too. And the internet's just like, not now, sweetheart.
If it's the latter, it could mean that Caitlin Clark could potentially miss the rest of the season. This 2-week timetable that people are running with, that's just when Caitlin Clark is going to be reevaluated. As of now, she will be reevaluated on June 9th. That does not mean, and it's highly unlikely, that June 9th or shortly thereafter is when Caitlin Clark is cleared to return.
And Indiana? They are getting a crash course in life without their golden ticket. The Caitlin Clark show is on a brief hiatus, and now it's up to Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell to keep the whole operation from falling apart. Mitchell's out here playing like she's got an extra set of lungs, Boston's snatching rebounds like she's haunted, and Coach Stephanie White is redrawing plays like she's competing in the Hunger Games. And yet, somehow, the Fever might just stay afloat. Why? Because their upcoming opponents have been about as intimidating as a bowl of lukewarm soup. No shade, Chicago Sky. Okay, maybe a little.
There's no way. Every team's going to come at them and try to take them out, especially without Caitlin. They're going to lose some games here, and that's going to set them back. It's really hard to believe this, but yeah, she's out. There's no other details. When did this happen? Could have happened in this game. We're not sure. Most likely at a practice yesterday. She's out for 2 weeks, man.
Let's be honest. The most entertaining part of the WNBA right now isn't the scoreboard, the dunks, or even the game itself. It's watching the league try to act like the party's still going strong when the life of that party, Caitlin Clark, just got sidelined. Before the injury, she wasn't just in the MVP race, she was the race. Sure, some folks tried to play it off like she was just a flashy rookie, but that's like saying Beyoncé is decent at singing. Please. Clark wasn't just dropping stats, she was hauling an entire franchise out of irrelevance on her back, like a one-woman comeback tour. She had the TV ratings, the sellouts, the celebrity hype, the fans screaming from the rafters in DIY glitterglued jerseys. She didn't just bring energy, she reprogrammed the whole WNBA algorithm. Record-breaking viewership, sold-out arenas that suddenly remembered how to roar, and merch moving faster than Taylor Swift tickets. And now, the queen's off the board, temporarily. Yet somehow, we're all supposed to believe the MVP race is wide open now, like the rest of the league wasn't just caught in her orbit 5 minutes ago. Cute.
Breaking WNBA news. Caitlin Clark is out for a minimum of 2 weeks with a quad strain, and our next question is, what does this mean for the Fever? So Cece is going to be missing the second Sky rematch since playing them the first weekend of the season, which is definitely a bummer, but on the bright side, this injury doesn't seem too bad, it's just some quad tightness. But fear not, Fever fans. We talked to Caitlin earlier this month, and she doesn't seem too worried about the depth of this roster.
So I think our depth is probably what I would worry about the most. You know, if somebody doesn't have it one night, you're just going to the next person on the bench and the next person, and we're going to have to be able to find a way to use that to the best of our ability.
Caitlin seems like she has faith in her team, but we will see how this squad performs on the court without their number one player.
Meanwhile, back in Indiana, the Fever are quietly starting to figure things out, and honestly, this might be the best thing that could have happened. Without Clark doing everything, the rest of the squad is stepping up. And when she comes back, rested, refocused, and completely over the noise, watch out. Picture Clark storming the court, hitting threes from the concession stand, and silencing every critic who doubted her after 2 weeks of quad recovery. That's not just a return, it's an encore. And here's the twist. If the Fever can hold it down during this stretch, stay competitive, and maybe even steal a few wins, they are going to be dangerous. With a healthy Clark, a confident Boston, and a fired-up Mitchell, they are not just playoff hopefuls, they are a potential nightmare for any top seed. So yes, Clark's injured, for now. But the WNBA? It's still charging ahead, maybe louder than ever. MVP debates, breakout stars, fan chaos, conspiracy theories, and a comeback arc that's practically writing itself. Every storyline's on fire, and Caitlin Clark's return might just be the match that ignites the whole league.
Just as I started talking about Caitlin Clark being in the MVP race, it is announced that she suffered a left quad injury and she is going to miss at least 2 weeks. And this is such a bummer because the Fever were off to a great start this season. Caitlin Clark was playing out of her mind. She had already broken some records in the first 3 games, and now she's going to be sidelined for 2 weeks. We'll see how the team will hold up without her. Obviously, she's the primary ball handler, playmaker, and shot maker. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can sustain and just hold even at 500 or better, and she can get back and keep them in playoff contention.
To all the fans swearing off the WNBA until their basketball savior returns, here's your reality check. Without Caitlin Clark, watching the league kind of feels like sticking around after the headliners left the stage. Yeah, there's still talent, no doubt. But the spark? Gone. The energy's dipped, and the drama's barely simmering. So go ahead. Fire off angry tweets from your Clark-themed beanbag chair. Right now, the WNBA isn't evolving, it's hanging on. And when she does return, it's not just going to be basketball again. It'll be the event. The main act. The show we've all been waiting for. In the meantime, we're in a weird limbo. The games are cleaner, smoother, even more technically sound, but fewer people are watching. The viral chaos is gone. No more highlight reels of borderline body slams. No more daily Twitter battles over whether that foul was hard contact or low-key possession. With Clark no longer getting clobbered every 5 minutes, the noise has died down. And that is what's got the WNBA sweating. Because let's be real, controversy moves numbers. As much as the league wants to spotlight basketball excellence, what actually sent ratings soaring wasn't a perfect screen or a flawless cut. It was Caitlyn taking a hit and the internet exploding with assault memes. Nobody's trending because someone quietly dropped 30. They are trending because Clark got leveled and someone's cousin filmed it courtside. The league has been riding a PR wave powered by chaos. And now that their chaos engine is sitting out, they are nervously side-eyeing the stats like it's their maxed-out credit card statement. And don't even get started on the merch department. Somewhere in a warehouse, mountains of Caitlyn Clark jerseys are stacked in silence. Like, hey, remember us? Sales took a nosedive the second she limped off the court. The finance team sweating like they just went all in on Beanie Babies in 2024. A 12-game Clark absence? That's the WNBA's version of a solar eclipse, rare, short-lived, and extremely inconvenient for anyone trying to move tickets.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Caitlyn Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up.
And now, fans are doing what fans do best, throwing full-on tantrums like toddlers who got the wrong toy in their Happy Meal. Comment sections are on fire with cries of she should have gone to Europe. Because obviously, the logical response to getting injured is to pack up and flee the continent. Apparently, strained quads heal faster when you're torching 19-year-olds in Lithuania for a few grand a week. Brilliant strategy. But let's actually unpack this she should have gone overseas narrative. Sure, international leagues often pay more because rich team owners over there don't lose sleep over salary caps. And yes, European fans treat their stars like royalty. But Clark didn't come to the WNBA for an easier paycheck. She came to run the show. And that's a tough job when half the league is treating you like a pinata and the other half is pretending they're not watching your every move. Speaking of watching, can we pour one out for the Caitlyn Clark haters? They were just starting to hit their groove. The tweets were polished, the memes were queued up, and the she's overrated takes were locked and loaded. And now, crickets. It's hard to hate watch someone who's not even on the court. These folks are like sitcom villains who just lost the star of the show, wandering around with nothing to do and way too many thoughts.
Big news just released by the Indiana Fever. Caitlyn Clark has suffered a quad injury, and she's going to be out for a minimum of 2 weeks. Really bad news for people going to games at home hoping to see Caitlyn.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese is absolutely owning the spotlight. She's flexing, trash-talking, and turning post-game interviews into full-on TED Talks about haters, doubters, and media bias. And here's the kicker, it's working. The drama is irresistible. Every time Reese shows up in a designer fit and snags 15 rebounds, she's building her brand. Unapologetic, unbothered, and ready to dominate. Clark might have brought the fans through the door, but Reese is the one keeping the fire burning while the queen takes a break. Remember, Clark versus Reese was supposed to be the showdown, the rematch, the main event, the ratings juggernaut everyone was hyped for. Fever versus Clark versus Angel, the bonanza no one could wait for. Now, it's like showing up to WrestleMania only to find out The Rock didn't show. The show still goes on, but it just doesn't have the same punch. And you better believe the marketing team cried quietly during that conference call when they had to scrap all those Clash of Titans promos. Now, it's more like watching two up-and-coming teams trying not to trip over each other's missed layups. But here's the bigger picture. Clark's injury might actually be the best thing to happen to the WNBA. Hear me out. It's forcing the league to prove it has more than one star. It's pushing fans to notice players they've been overlooking, recognize greatness beyond the TikTok trends, and realize that Clark is just the start of something bigger, not the whole story.
Clark might be a demigorgon. I was watching the WNBA. There was nothing on the TV, so I said, why do I just support women? I'm a proud feminist anyways. It was one of the worst things I've ever watched. All I saw was straight bricks. But Caitlyn Clark might be a demigorgon. That girl can hoop. I will.
We're seeing in real time the Angel Reese psychological meltdown as she's actually being forced to grasp the fact that the thing that she is best at in her life, which is basketball, Caitlyn Clark is exponentially better at than she is.
Suddenly, clips of Kalani Copper lighting it up for the Mercury are everywhere. People are remembering that Breanna Stewart is still an unstoppable force. Even players like Dearica Hamby are finally getting recognition for steady, consistent play that doesn't make viral highlights. The league is showcasing real depth, real talent, and actual team identities. Imagine that. And when Clark comes back, and she will come back, you can bet the Fever's hype will hit new heights. This break? It's just adding fuel to the fire. Her return won't be just another game. It'll be an event, a comeback, a statement. Every player who doubted her during her timeout better hope she doesn't come back raining revenge threes from the sky. The real losers? Not the Fever. Not Clark. Not even the league. It's the fans who checked out the moment she hit the injury report, because they missed Collier's rise, Reese's evolution in real time, and the chance to see the league grow beyond its biggest star. And that's the kind of missed opportunity you can't just rewind and catch later on ESPN+. The WNBA didn't just survive a week without Caitlin Clark. It adapted. And in a few games, it'll face the real test. Because when she returns, there will be no excuses, no rookie grace period, no easing into pro ball. Just 40 minutes of pure fire. Clark making up for lost time, draining buckets, and silencing every critic who thought her injury was the end of the story.